AFC meets NFC. The Colts and the Eagles coming up. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. You know the story. The Colts are very injured. They do have Austin Collie back today, but a lot of starters are out. What do you expect here, Phil?
They still got Peyton Manning, and he says, yeah, we're beat up. We can't practice the way we want to, so we just got to find a different way to manage the game and find some other way to win. And he says that keeps your attention. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, really, it's all about Michael Vick. I'm interested to see, can Indianapolis defense keep him in the pocket and down the field throwing, something he does with ease, a very powerful left arm. See if they can make some big plays.
Well, the Eagles will receive the opening kickoff after winning the toss. It's 51, temperatures falling, and there are some breezes out there. Chilly autumn afternoon here. The cradle of freedom, Philadelphia. McAfee sends it down the way. About 2 yards deep. Calvin will run it out. And Calvin spinning away. Nice piece of running. That is a 30-yard run back out to the 28. And here comes Michael Vick. He's been out a couple of games with broken ribs. It had been reported that it was cartilage damage in the past, but he revealed to us 3 broken ribs. He's fine now and back in the starting lineup. Peters also returns after being inactive the last 2 games with a knee injury. Had a little scope. He's back. And Jackson returns after missing a game with a concussion. McCoy is the tailback here on first down, and they're going to give it to the second-year man out of Pittsburgh. And what a nifty move here by McCoy. He's taken off inside the 40, the 30, the 20, and dragged down from behind at the 10-yard line. Hagler saved the touchdown, but that goes for 62 yards on the first snap of the game.
Well, Jason Peters is back. He gets a good block. Owen Schmidt, the fullback. But I think when you watch the play, it's the speed. LaShawn McCoy, so fast. And when he takes a run, it looks like it's going to get 5 to 10 yards. When he turns it on, he gets all those extra yards. And, Jim, I think we've noticed it talking about the Eagles offense, probably the fastest offense in the NFL.
Yeah, they've got some receivers out there. Obviously, Jackson's remarkable speed. Macklin as well. You saw what McCoy could do. 62 yards. Harrison now the running back, the former Brown. He's up for the first time in an Eagle uniform, and that's his first handle in Philadelphia. Goes for a yard. Well, the Colts defense on its heels right away. There is Freeney, who's gone against Vick. They go back to the college days together. Syracuse against Virginia Tech. Hagler, who saved the touchdown on the first play. He's in the lineup for Session today. And Lacey gets the start as Powers is out. Yet another Colt player injured and out. McCoy sits out one play, catches his breath, and returns on 2nd and goal from the 9. And Vick goes shotgun. Vick into the pocket, throws it. Touchdown, Jackson. 9 yards. Vick to Jackson. 3 plays, 72 yards. And the Eagles quickly on the board here in Philadelphia.
Beautiful throw, perfect speed. The trajectory just gets over the outstretched arms of Bethea.
Akers for the extra point. Rocco on the hole. Eye on the snap. Rocket got it down, and Akers drives it through. Well, what an electric start.
Looked like practice on Friday. Well, let's just look how they got the touchdown, Jim. Deshaun Jackson back in the end zone. He's going to go just like this down the field. And the key is Antoine Bethea. Brent Selleck just occupies him just a little bit as he goes up the field. That creates the throwing lane. Michael Vick anticipates the back of the end zone on the other side. And the key to it, like I said, the trajectory. And Dwight Freeney, I tell you what's different. 2 things when you look at this Indianapolis defense today. They have to watch for Michael Vick on bootlegs, so that slows the pass rush down. And so far this year, I have noticed the pass rush just not the same for the Indianapolis Colts when they go on the road.
So how about Vick and Jackson both come back off injury? Of course, this team coming off a bye, and they connect on the game's third play for the touchdown. This season, Vick in the red zone, 9 drives in the red zone, 8 of them resulting in touchdowns. So the Colts in those throwback uniforms, the 1955 Colt uniforms.
I like the helmets.
Yeah, they got the shoes on the back of the helmet, the blue helmets. Cornelius Brown is back deep on the goal line. All kinds of special team changes for the Colts. It's a shorter kick and fallen on the recovery by Javarius James.
The wind
just kind of, I think, misjudged that wind, didn't he? Now here comes Peyton. This is number 200. 200 starts to open up his career, the second most consecutive start streak among quarterbacks. By the way, Jaws is third all-time, Ron Jaworski. Of course, Favre at number 1. Favre and the Vikings pull off the remarkable fourth quarter comeback and win in overtime today against Arizona. Manning from the 19. He's going down the field looking for Garcon, and that was Samuel on the coverage. So you got Peyton Manning playing in this stadium for the first time. 4th time overall for Peyton against the Eagles. He's had his way with them the first 3 times. Saturday, he's been Peyton center 162 of those 200 games. And when it comes to running backs today, they've got Donald Brown. As Adai didn't even make the trip, nor did Mike Hart. They've got Donald Brown, Javarius James, who fell on the misjudged kick return, and Andre Brown up today. Second down, and Manning across the middle. He's picked off. Samuel's got him. It's not the first time he's picked Peyton. Samuel inside the 20, and he's down to the 10. Asante Samuel.
Well, the first play, the long pass, was against Asante Samuel to let him know that don't be looking in the backfield. But it's the pressure on Peyton Manning. They do it up front. That's what, look at the crowd around him. That makes him sail the football over the intended receiver, who was Reggie Wayne. Had to double clutch it. And the big key always when you play the Indianapolis Colts, don't blitz Peyton Manning, but can you pressure him with the 4 down linemen? The Eagles think they can, and if they can, that will be the difference in this game today.
Peyton's first pick in his last 106 throws. Samuel, who got one off of him in that AFC title game back in January 07. It's McCoy, the middle for about 4. We were talking to both of those players this week, Manning and Samuel. And here's that history we talked about. This was, of course, the Indianapolis epic comeback. But Samuel guessed right that time on the throw and ran it back for the touchdown to put New England up 21-3 at the time.
We saw Peyton Manning 2 weeks later in the Super Bowl that year against the Chicago Bears. He was still complaining about that interception because it was a defense he had not seen by the New England Patriots.
Just came back to win that from 18 down. Go on to win the Super Bowl. 2nd and goal.
Better watch Vick on the key.
Yep, you called it. And Vick dragged down.
Well, the fakes have been the other way. So if he would have faked the ball and ran to Dwight Freeney's side, I think it's there. Instead, they set the formation to the other side, and 2 defenders are waiting on him. On the outside, here they come.
Robert Mathis.
Robert Mathis is there. And Angerer, too, also. Dwight Freeney, I don't know. He might tell the coaches, yeah, I'll watch for the keeps and the boots, but let's be honest, he's such one of the greatest pass rushers we've ever seen in this league. He's going to the quarterback.
So now 3rd and goal. And they put up a 2nd touchdown in the first 3.5 minutes. Vick brushes off the pressure, ball tip. There is a flag down. Tipped by Buffet. Avant in the back of the end zone.
Holding, offense, set penalties declined, 4th down.
And we'll bring out David Akers.
Yeah, I think that holding was on Winston Justice, number 74, the right tackle. Obvious passing situation. Robert Mathis just straight up the field. That's a good stop by the Colts defense, of course.
David Akers, the longest tenured Eagle, been with them since 1999. Just a 22-yard chippy. Dornbos on the snap. And the kick is good. Samuel set up the 33-yard run back he had of the pick. And boy, he is still gassed after that return.
Yeah, I didn't see. Maybe when he was getting tackled, it knocked his breath out or something. But you're right. He's got the oxygen and really laboring to catch his breath. Of course, sometimes I'm not being funny because he's not feeling well, but the excitement of picking off Peyton Manning's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's.
And he talked about it to us, like you said, in the meeting on Friday. Has, of course, tremendous respect. And Asante Samuel, I said to you why they threw the long ball the first play of the game. You've got to let him know that you're willing to go deep on him, because he is truly one of the best guessers at corner that I've seen in the NFL.
He makes a lot of smart gambles, is what Peyton said.
I think that's right. They're smart gambles, Jim. That's the way to say it. Very calculated. Knows when he can take a chance. Leaves his man. And I'll tell you the other thing, too. Maybe we'll see it today. The Eagles' disguise defenses as good as anybody if I've seen all year long.
I was going to say, I was wondering if for a minute there if Samuel would be back after the kick here, but he's hopped off the bench, ready to return to the field. Was that admiration that Peyton had for Asante returned right back. Asante walked into a meeting with us on Friday and said, "I have to say, we're the best ever to play our sport."
You're right. He said it to us. We didn't even bring it up.
Talking about Peyton. This is Cornelius Brown. And there is a flag thrown as he's taken out of bounds at the 28.
During the return, holding number 68 of the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Carl Cheffers, our referee here today. Tomorrow on CBS, Murder, Lies, Corruption. Push Hawaii 5-0 to the edge. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new drama. That's tomorrow on America's #1 network.
Well, I think, as you look at this Colts offense, and as Peyton Manning told us, he goes, look, they're used to playing the Eagles. Jim Johnson, now Sean McDermott, defensive coordinator. They like to blitz, but not as much this year. And how do they see? It's like he said, that's how you judge it. How do they see us?
From the 12, that's Donald Brown plunging ahead for a yard, maybe two. We've got an update. James Brown is in the studio in New York.
Jim and Phil, 20-10. Jets had trailed the Lions in the fourth. They come back, force overtime, and win it in OT on that 30-yard field goal by Nick Folk. The Jets get it done, pull out the win. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Well, Stafford got hurt late in that game. Thank you, JB. Jets come back from 10 down late and win in overtime. And again, the Vikings 14 down in the fourth and win. There's a little completion to Jacob Tammy. Goes for 4. They'll set up third down for Indianapolis. And here is that Philadelphia defense. Trent Cole, he can put the pressure on the quarterback. Has 6 sacks. Sims is 50,000 lighter after being struck with the penalty. And the hit he delivered a couple of weeks ago cost him the $50,000 fine. And you saw Demetri Patterson, the cornerback, getting his first ever NFL start today. 50-year man out of Tuskegee. Austin Collie comes in. He's in a slot to the left. Collie back much sooner than anyone expected. And that's Reggie Wayne picking up the first down. Nice move by Wayne to the middle of the field, patiently waiting for it to clear. The 9-yard gain in the first.
I don't know if it was called in the huddle. They did it. Peyton Manning audible to this play, but it's one of their blitz breakers. In other words, if they think a blitz is coming or if he sees it, they love those screens to the outside. They are tremendous blockers. The wide receiver, the left tackle getting out there, getting it done.
First down of the game for the Colts. And Donald Brown stumbles, regains his footing, picks up 3. Runs into the arms of Stuart Bradley. Jim Nance and Phil Simms, we welcome you to Philadelphia. Already 10-0 Eagles. Second series of the game for the Colts. Peyton Manning was intercepted on his second throw of the game by Asante Samuel. Tammy gets the grab, and he's within a yard of a first. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Good timing again. Another blitz, another screen to Jacob Tammy. I think as you watch this offense, Jim, as we talk to Peyton Manning, you talk about the injuries, different things. They've had to cut their practice reps down, which drives them crazy, but it's about grinding it out. Yeah, we're going to miss some plays because we don't have our full unit in there. But, hey, gets rid of the boredom, man. We have spirited practices because everybody has to make sure we're all clued into each other.
Got movement on the left side.
It's on the defense.
Trent Cole and Gian Robinson both check.
Neutral zone infraction, number 58 of the defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offensive player. 5-yard penalty. That yardage results in a first down.
So the drive started at the 12, and now they move the football out to the 40. Andy Reid, who has never defeated the Colts. First down for Indianapolis. I'd like to welcome another audience that just joins us here in Philadelphia. The Eagles 62 yards on the first snap of the game. A run by Deshaun McCoy that then set up a 9-yard big touchdown pass to Deshaun Jackson. Then Manning was picked. It led to an Akers 22-yard field goal. Here we are, first play of the game. McCoy takes it all the way down to the 10. Then the touchdown throw by Vick. The interception by Samuel, leading to an Akers field goal. 10-0 to score. The Colts have picked up a couple of first downs on this, their second series of the game. This drive had started back at the 12 after a penalty on the kick. And there's a nice grab by Tammy. And he's close to a first at midfield. Let's get some Phil Simms philosophy today.
Well, no matter who's in there, Jacob Tammy in for Dallas Clark. The Colts, they don't care. They see the matchup. They expect you to win. He had one-on-one against a linebacker there, and Jacob Tammy got it done. That last pass we saw Peyton Manning throw. Everybody in the NFL calls that the Indy pass. That little short underneath throw. Almost every offense in the NFL has copied it. The difference is the Colts, they have about 10 different ways of running that play.
Eric Foster lines up as the fullback, throwing a block here on 3rd and short. Actually, not even close for Donald Brown. They brought in a defensive lineman, a little reinforcement in the backfield. We'll see if Foster hit anyone here.
Well, Mike Patterson, Trevor Laws, I couldn't see who made the tackle. I just know 2 big defensive linemen were the last to get up, and they win the point of attack. And you know, Jim, if you notice, the Colts, what were they doing? Quick passes. They're trying to do a lot of things. They take the pressure off their offensive linemen in the run game.
There's Jackson waiting for the punt from Pat McAfee. He's back this week after serving a 1-game suspension for his arrest for alleged public intoxication there in downtown Indianapolis. And the McAfee kick should be covered up. It is. Down at the 1 by Blair White. Well done. 50-yard punt. Eagles will have it at the 1, leading 10-0 in the first. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles had 4-3 on the season, 1-2 at home with losses to Green Bay and to Washington. I got Michael Vick now in his return. He's already thrown a touchdown in this one. 5:41 to go in the first. This is their 7th snap of the game. 5 of their first 6 plays came in goal-to-go situations. And how about Michael Vick? We met with him on Friday. We got to hear in person about all, of course, the changes in his life. His coach, Andy Reid, telling us he's in a very good place right now, talking about his quarterback.
Well, I'll just say this. Talking to Michael Vick, when I asked him some football questions about quarterbacking, he had a smile that never left. He goes, because he knows he's in quarterback heaven. Because in this offense, it's about the quarterback. Has good skilled people around him.
Hands it off to McCoy, who tumbles out to the 4. Now, Michael had missed some action with broken ribs, 3 broken ribs. And, you know, for a while there, he said just to even try to change his shirt, it was problematic. He was finally able to sneeze this week for the first time.
You know, sneezing, that's a great feeling, man. What are you talking about? But, you know, too, I think the way he's being taught how to play quarterback here, of course, he's more receptive to being taught now than he was in Atlanta, and he really understands that you can be great at being a quarterback with your mind just as much as your body.
3rd and 7, and he goes with the long ball to Jackson in stride and down to the Colts 39-yard line.
One of the few guys in the NFL, Michael Vick is, who can just outthrow the coverage. And what happens is, if you never see it like this, Aaron Francesco, there he is, the safety. Oh, he goes, come on, this ball, wait. Oh, it's there. So about 60 yards later, straight up in the air, straight down. And
Boyd almost squirted out.
Yeah, it did, but he got his arms on it.
Yep. Freeney almost got in on Vick.
Wow, what a way. Dwight Freeney went all the way around from the right side to the left and almost got there. But when I watched practice, they were airing it out. It was a show watching him, how far he threw it and how they ran under all the passes.
It's back to Jackson on the end around. He falls at the 35. That was a 58-yard pass play. Now the Vick injury happened week 4 against Washington, down by the goal line. Got caught on a vice grip. That double collision from each side. A lot of people had reported it was cartilage damage, but Michael confirming for us it was a broken situation, 3 ribs.
Well, you know what I said to you earlier?
Upper rib cage here.
Hurt is hurt.
Yeah, pain is pain.
That's it.
And it was real.
It was real. But pain-free, very sharp, they said, Andy Reid, all week in practice.
Buckley was in and running back on this play. Big throw on the run. And another connection with Jackson, although we have a flag.
Gary Brackett on a roughing the passer. Now, if he doesn't hit him high, this is a bad call. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 58 defense for lowering his quarterback. That 15-yard penalty will be added half the distance to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
And you know, his microphone cut out that time. Carl Cheffers, did he say it was a high hit? His helmet hit the shoulder pads, but when a quarterback leaves the pocket, you're allowed more time. You're allowed 2 steps. It's not like he's in the pocket where when they throw it, you basically got to leave him alone. Once they get outside the tackle box, you can run a couple steps and make the hit. I thought that hit was clean.
Another goal-to-go situation for Vick and the Eagles.
But it was a heck of a throw.
It's a drive to start it back at their own 1. Vick running away from the pressure. That was Dawson chasing after him. There was a late hit, but no flag. And Andy Reid's voicing his displeasure.
I think one thing that these Eagles, Michael Vick, it's a clean hit. He's inbounds. He's pushed. Well, he never lets go, but still no penalty in my eyes. No penalty in my eyes. But Jim, Michael Vick said it to us. Andy Reid said, I'll believe it when I see it. That he's got to take less punishment at the quarterback position.
Almost looked like a little horse collar. Dawson had hold of the back of the pads, but nonetheless, 2nd and goal, no flag. Harrison down to the 3.
This is a good addition by the Philadelphia Eagles. Jerome Harrison is nothing but the back that just takes it up in there, the banger. When you need tough yards, which you need inside the 8-yard line in this league, give it to the guy who's looking to give punishment and get that extra yard or two.
Traded a couple of weeks into the season for running back Mike Bell. Trade with Cleveland. The Browns franchise that has caught fire now with consecutive wins over the Saints and the Patriots. 3rd and goal. Vic cradled it for a moment, now throws it back to the end zone, throws it away.
They were trying to get the let's all run to the left, and they were trying to get Britt Selleck to go all the way to the right corner of the end zone, and he was covered. Watch what happens. Here he comes across. Michael Vick looks back. Nobody there. Has to throw it away. Good play by him.
That was Mowala that was coming in on Vick.
Tell you what, that's about 4 hits already.
And for the second time now, and Vick may be a little groggy getting up there, Phil.
Yeah,
for the second time now, Akers has a short-range field goal as the Eagles are stopped inside the 10. This is 21 yards. Akers 2 for 2 here in the first quarter. 13-0 Eagles. It's a long drive starting back at the 1. Leads to 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by the all-new Honda Odyssey. Like no van before.
You can build your own football dynasty and compete year-round with CBSSports.com franchise football. Find out more at CBSSports.com/franchise. 3 drives for the Eagles, 3 scores. 96 yards. You don't see 96-yard field goal drives very often.
That was another good stand by the Colts on the defensive end. Maybe we'll show it to you how they stopped the touchdown pass, but it's discipline. And, you know, we talked to their coach, Jim Caldwell. We talked to Peyton and all that, all the new players. You know, the standard's high. Get in there, learn your job, and do it.
There is Cornelius Brown back at about the 7. He's cheated it a little bit. This kick is into the breeze. Jumps up to the 9 to take it. And a whole wall of Eagles meets him at the 24-yard line. 16-yard run back. Peyton and the Colts down 13 quickly. In honor of Veterans Day, text USO to 27722 to donate $10 to the USO. Help lift the spirits of troops and families around the world. We're thinking of all of our troops, both home and abroad, of course. And this is a trip that was made. Andy Reid was on a USO trip this summer with Marvin Lewis and Brad Childress, John Fox. They went to Germany and then the Persian Gulf to visit the troops as part of a week-long USO Armed Forces tour. Andy's father served in the Navy back in World War II. Manning's pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it was a blitz by this Eagles defense. They're feeling confident. They're playing man-to-man up front. Jaquaid Parker, number 75. This kind of goes unnoticed in the NFL. But, boy, tough, fast, consistent, productive.
A 2nd and 10. Donald Brown unable to spin away from all that action as Bradley was one of the first to get to him. Of course, the flag is out.
Eagles playing downhill. They're looking fast.
Holding, number 63. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, you hold them and they still can't stop them from barreling through there.
Yeah, Jim, let's look at that last play I was talking about. Here is Selleck going across. Pat Angerer playing because he just keeps going well. Here comes everything this way. Be disciplined. Don't chase the car. He waits, and look what it does. It stops a touchdown. You know what I mean by don't chase the car, right? You know, just every time a car passes, don't go chasing everything. Wait for it to come to you.
You look at me like that's something I do all the time.
Well, I didn't know.
2nd down. 2nd and 20.
You're always in the limo.
They take the penalty. And Tammy finds a little seam. Jacob Tammy taken off. We do have a flag as he's all the way out to the 50. The flag is back at the 25. Probably will wipe out a 36-yard gain.
You think the Colts spend some time on these
Holding,
screens?
number 66, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Kyle Devan, who got the start today in place of Jamie Richard. Not a whole lot going right for Jim Caldwell's crew right now.
66, there he is. Got his hand outside. Ooh.
No question about that one.
No question about it.
Had a hold of Quentin Michael.
Either the Eagles have to be even more aggressive on the defensive side, or they got to sit back and wait and see it form and then try to make the tackles.
The 2nd and 18, 4 penalties here in the first quarter against the Colts. Over to Garcon. Garcon gets a good chunk of it back out to the 30. Set up 3rd and about 4. That picked up 14.
The numbers are favoring the Colts tremendously on these plays. And they're thinking blitz, and the Eagles keep obliging.
Michael might have gotten away with a horse collar when he brought down Garcon. Final half minute of the first quarter. Toss on 3rd and 4 to Brown, and that's good for the first. They went deep and they went wide, and they flipped it back to Brown. He picks up 5 and a first down.
Yeah, it's 5 down lineman look by the Philadelphia Eagles, and where do you attack that? You go outside. So good call by Clyde Christensen.
Close out the quarter here. Nope, not another play. That's the first time now the Colts haven't scored in 13 quarters. They had scored in 12 or 13 consecutive quarters, but blank here through 1.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate. And by Red Lobster. Enjoy endless servings of your favorite shrimp, only during Endless Shrimp at Red Lobster.
Yes, welcome back. Cheese steak capital of the world. Did you get one of those this weekend?
No, I did not. I've turned into a coward, you know.
You missed a good chance. Start the second quarter. Jim Nance, Bill Sims, 13-0 Eagles. First down for Manning and the Colts to open the quarter. Austin Collie in a slot to the right as Brown gets the first down run for about 5, and we have another update from a Donald Brown run to a James Brown update.
Jim and Phil, after Leon Washington fumbled the kick return, the Giants made them pay. Ahmad Bradshaw scoring from 4 yards out, his second rushing touchdown of the game. 21-0 Giants. Hey, Jim, check Phil's bag. He does have a cheesesteak in there.
I'll check it out. Tough spot for Charlie Whitehurst starting today at quarterback for Seattle.
Against that Giant front 4, now you're behind 21-0.
2nd and 5, and there's the pass to Brown. Caught it in stride, and he takes it to the Philadelphia side of the field. Colts on that side for the first time today. That goes for 20.
Well, good job. Peyton Manning look left, comes back to the right. Mike Patterson was covering Brown, and the Eagles keep trying to pressure the quarterback. It doesn't work.
Reggie Wayne ducks after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Tonight on CBS, the Chicago Cubs boss goes undercover at baseball's legendary Wrigley Field. It's an all-new undercover boss tonight. Only CBS.
Jim, how many games have we done of the Indianapolis Colts over the years? I really have yet to see a team that is successful when it comes to blitzing Peyton Manning.
Javaris James is in there. Need to pick up a blitz, perhaps. No, they quickly get it over to Collie. And Austin Collie has his first grab after missing some action. He's back much earlier than anyone thought after that hand injury, but I think Peyton kind of tipped us off on that when we talked to him midweek, saying that Austin's one of those guys who heals quickly. The guy always defies the odds.
Timeout by the Eagles. They got caught trying to get players on the field. Peyton Manning was going to quick snap it.
It'll be a 3rd and 10 for Indy out of the break.
Well, a couple things. You can see the Eagles are already calling timeout. Peyton Manning was trying to go to the hurry up because they were substituting. and Andre Wash, the umpire, whoops, gets in the way, almost falls over. Remember, that's a new rule change, but it did not affect that play there. The Eagles were going to call a timeout no matter what.
Could have been roughing the quarterback. 3rd and 10. Need to get to the 31 for the first. Colts operating across midfield for the first time on this drive. The pass, that is Wayne, and they rule it a catch on the field. Comes back for it, and that's enough for the first.
Double inside blitz by the Eagles defense. Reggie Wayne to the outside, one-on-one. Peyton Manning knew it right away. As soon as you see the blitz, go to the receiver where the defender is off.
Challenge flag is out. This happened right in front of Andy Reid. The catch was right in front of him. It looked like to me Wayne at first glance had both hands underneath it, cradled the football. Looked pretty good on that one replay.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field that the pass is complete. We'll review the play. Timeout.
So Carl Cheffers will look at that 11-yard grab. Will it hold up? Will the Colts keep moving? We'll be right back. I think we're going to be at opposite sides, but you think the Eagles have a case here?
I do now after seeing this stop action of the ball, the football. It is definitely, the nose is right on the ground. His arms are not under it, Jim. His hands are not under it. Even though originally I thought, oh, I think he caught it.
The ruling on the field stands. Philadelphia will be charged with their first timeout.
Well, that freeze frame shot that we showed was not good enough. I'm sure that's what Andy Reid said. There was separation in the arms. Of course, the ball can hit the ground, but you must have control of it. And quite honestly, right there, I did not think his hands were around it yet to have control of it.
Gives the Colts the first down at the 30 since the interception. Peyton now 11 of his last 12. We're down the middle of the field, and that was on the fingertips of a Eagles player, but there is a flag thrown against that Philadelphia secondary. Tammy was the target.
Pass interference, number 55, defense, automatic, first down.
Stuart Bradley's pass interference call is going to set up the Colts down around the 10.
Colts were going for the score. Austin Collie on the outside, trying to go for the fake screen up the middle. Stuart Bradley made contact with the receiver without ever turning around. That's why it was called pass interference.
Yeah, had his back to the play the whole time, and there was contact. 19-yard penalty gives the Colts a goal-to-go situation. When they've had goal-to-go situations, they've eventually scored 42 consecutive goal-to-go scenarios, and that's Brown down to the 3. You got to go back to week 1 of 2009, the last time they failed to deliver any points when in a goal-and-go situation.
Well, that last play, the fake screen, going for the touchdown, really good discipline by the Eagles defense, but off tackle, the Colts have found somewhere to run the football. Both sides.
Nate Allen, a fine safety rookie for the Eagles, is down, and we'll take a timeout. Nate Allen just now starting to move a little bit, get up, and here's what happened. It's not just the hit on Donald Brown, it's his own teammate coming in at the end, Stuart Bradley.
Good hits.
Right
good
here.
Hit. And Stuart Bradley falls on top of him.
Listen to the hit here. He's even breaking into a light jog. Allen taken in the second round out of South Florida this year, and his defensive coordinator Sean McDermott was praising him when we were in McDermott's company this week, talking about poise of that rookie. Been quite an impact player. Coming in for him is Kurt Coleman. Saw him number 42. Second and goal. That's Tammy. Shakes off the hit by Samuel, and he's in for the touchdown. Sante Samuel had a play on him. Garcon throws a block, And Manning has the touchdown toss to Jacob Tamme.
Well, another screen. I'll tell you what, it's a clinic how to get it done. To the outside. Good block by the two. Garcon, Austin Collie, but Asante Samuels, little guy going against the big guy. And then when you try to tackle him up around the shoulders, no chance.
Tamme taking over for Dallas Clark, who of course is IR for the season. Tamme caught a touchdown Monday night against Houston. He has another one here today. 13-7 Eagles.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of today's complex global economy. Invest with confidence. The new 2011 Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. And by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback.
Well, the Colts finally get on track offensively. Tamme finishes off an 11-play drive. Now that's the 10th touchdown drive this season of at least 10 plays. That's the most in the league. Peyton on the drive, 7 of 8 to 5 different receivers.
That was a grinded out drive, no question about it. Peyton Manning said with the way the team is now, being very cautious throwing the football, I think that drive exemplified all of that.
McAfee's kick comes to Calvin at the 9. Now look at this. The ball squirts out of the hands. A little trickery here as Patterson saw some open field. Forgot to take the football with him.
Goes back to where he fumbled it because it went out of bounds. But it had the Colts fooled. I think the only guy left was the kicker. Oh, yes.
Yes, McAfee.
It was the only guy, and he was in tremendous position. He was going to get it stopped. We see it more than ever. Kickers, punters, you got to get involved. You do a good job. Good job by McAfee.
After all that, the ball will be at the 32-yard line. McAfee had that side locked down and trying to switch hands with it. Patterson trying to switch hands for the second time.
You know what he was saying, don't you? Not in my house.
Not here.
Not here.
Vick, short drop, and that's selling. The ball pops out incomplete. What a jarring hit by Deshae Townsend.
That's how you got to be careful. Don't lead your receivers into trouble. He comes off the outside receiver. Boy, that's careful. Close. Remember, don't launch yourself. You're a defender. Run through the tackle. But he launches himself through where the football is in the midsection. So well done.
Riley Cooper comes in as an Eagle receiver, set wide to the right. Up the middle they go. And that's McCoy for about a yard. Now Vick's taken a couple of hits already.
Oh yeah, big hits. No, he's not a big guy, and that's why they're so concerned about it. Every time he's throwing the football, there's somebody around him, and this hit there really shook him up, came to the sideline.
Now the right guard for the Eagles is out. Max Jean-Gillis with a concussion, so he's been replaced. That happened in the first quarter. Nick Cole has come in at right guard. So knocked down 3 times under pressure. Vick faces a 3rd and 9 here. He's taken off with it. He's got the first down with ease onto the Indianapolis side and steps out at the 43. Vick scampering for 24.
What's it like to see the blitz coming and just go, yeah, I don't think I'll deal with it, so I'm just going to run right through it. And anytime he sees a pressure, you cannot leave the middle open for a runner like Michael Vick. In person, watching him, it's much faster than it comes across on TV. I think it's what caught me by surprise at practice. He was doing all the bootlegs and running. I went, wow, he's faster now than I remember him in Atlanta.
He says he's a little slower, though, if you ask him.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit. Compared himself to Deshae Townsend's speed. That'll make you feel slow. Update time. James Brown, take it away in New York.
Jim and Phil on the Kansas City-Oakland showdown. It's Kansas City on board here. Matt Castle hooking up with Darren Tucker, an 11-yard strike for the score. Back in the corner of the end zone. It is good. Kansas City on top of Oakland 10-0 in the second. Jim Nance, Bill Sims.
Oh, boy, like the old days there, JB, out in the AFC West. Yeah, that comparison, Vic, with Deshaun Jackson. And he was just marveling at the speed of that wide receiver, like something he's never seen. Little fake here by Vic. And he's going to keep it again. Step out of the 40. Might have been a little bobble there for a moment. Picks up 3.
Well, they're trying to move him, and that was an excellent job. Move him outside the pocket to get the speed of these wide receivers. Deshaun Jackson, who you talked about, to give him a chance to go down the field and make a double move. But the coverage was excellent on Deshaun. Here he goes. You see him at the bottom of your screen running. He doesn't even have time to set up. In fact, he might have been going across the field trying to throw it back.
Only 3 guys on Freeney here.
And no wonder Michael Vick was under pressure.
Gee. 3rd and 7.
Like you in basketball, got a triple team.
Yeah, got to respect the shot. Look at this. Wide open. Avant makes the cut down the sideline. Jason Avant is out of bounds at the 6-yard line. All that outside speed you talked about earlier. Here's another one.
Here he is, and he takes advantage of it, too. From the inside, Jason Avant, kind of the unknown guy between Macklin and Deshaun Jackson, no chance to cover him in the middle of the field that time. Michael Vick immediately goes to the right guy against Deshae Townsend, one-on-one, covering the whole inside, very tough to do.
Jason Avant for 34 yards.
Not that he found the right guy, it was dead on target. Didn't even break stride, Jason Avant.
Avant's longest reception of the season, 1st and goal. The Colts have shut him down, held him to field goals 2 other times inside the 10. That one goes for no gain.
Now the first time they were down there, Bethea, the safety, trying to read Michael Vick's eyes, opened up a window. Michael Vick made the perfect throw.
Marty Morningwig, offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
Indianapolis's defensive line really winning the battle up front against the Eagles' offensive line.
2nd and goal from the 7. Pass complete to Jackson all the way back to the 19. Look at that block. And they'll lose big yardage to the 14. A loss of 7 in the end.
Yeah, it's a good idea. They got the numbers, but when he goes so low to get it, it just takes the timing off. And once he cuts it back, Michael Vick trying to get Robert Mathis. Be careful, good block.
Vick tried to help out a little bit.
And Robert Mathis, act like you're trying to block him. Sorry, coach, I missed him. But the play was designed to stay outside. Once he cut it back inside, big trouble.
3rd and goal all the way back to the 14. And a timeout. That was 7:14 to go in the quarter. 3rd and goal from the 14 when we come back. Look at the Colts defending 3rd down on the season. Once in 23 tries that were 3rd and 10 or longer. That's the only time they've converted. One time.
2 good pass rushers and a very solid, safe scheme. Makes it work.
3rd and goal from the 14, and Vick spins. And then he is hit from behind by Freeney. Does not go as a sack. 1-yard gain by Vick. And we'll see Akers for the 3rd time.
Yeah, the pressure, he feels that they're getting inside. And, of course, any quarterback knows from the outside, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis. But I was looking down the field, saw nobody open. Everybody covered closely. Michael Vick takes another hit.
How about that, Phil? 3 times, though, the Eagles had it inside the 10, and they come up with a field goal try instead. This one, 31 yards for Akers. Already good from 22 and 21. And he knocks this one through. Dead center. 16-7, the home team, 2nd quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sony and Sony Internet TV. Television and internet together at last. And by Prudential, the rock you can rely on to meet today's financial challenges.
Well, the Eagles on third down, that last drive, had a 24-yard run by Vick. And then Mike Vick to Avant, 34 yards on the third down play. It got him down inside the 10. But again, the Colts put a stop to it at that point. Leads to the field goal, 16-7. Colts trying to beat an NFC opponent in the regular season for the 8th consecutive time. Of course, the Saints got the better of them in the Super Bowl 44 this past February. Tonight on 60 Minutes, President Obama's only interview since Tuesday's elections. Plus the story of the biggest boxing sensation in years. Tonight on 60 Minutes only, CBS.
Well, one of my theories was, coming into this game, the Colts just don't pressure the passer as well on the road. Said that early, but that theory's been shot out the window here. They're making Michael Vick move. It's hard for him to settle down back there and look down the field and make some throws, even though the Eagles have 16 points.
Pass over to Wayne. That's a short gainer. Only out to the 24.
And as Sean McDermott said about this Eagle defense, got to be careful when you blitz. Don't get mesmerized by Peyton Manning. We got young defenders, but it comes down to fundamentals. Right technique, and you've got to tackle. That was a good example. That last play, Patterson, just a good solid tackle. Don't give up the extra yards.
McDermott's rookie safety Allen is being x-rayed for possible neck and head injuries from that injury earlier in the quarter. And there's a completion again to Wayne with a flag down.
A little flag. Could that be a push off by Reggie Wayne? I think it is.
Pass interference, number 87, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, it was really a terrific throw to the right spot by Peyton Manning, coming down the inside, getting position. Arms did extend, so you got to throw it. And we see it all the time. We call ticky-tack fouls on the defenders. We go, well, I don't know. But they still throw it. You got to do the same to these offensive guys, too.
Wayne being defended there by Demetri Patterson. He's been around the league for 5 years, but never started until today. That's the matchup at the bottom of your screen. Second down at 16. Underneath to Wayne, and gets it back to the 20. 3rd and 10 on the way. Patterson getting the start today with Ellis Hobbs inactive, out with a hip injury. And now, of course, they're without Nate Allen for present time while he's being x-rayed.
Depth in the NFL. If you don't have it, you lose. Guys have to step in.
3rd and 10. Pump fake, wanted to go long. That's Collie, and there's a flag here on the near side. It's going to be a push-off call against the Eagles past the 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm going to see this against Patterson. I don't know.
Just talking about Patterson getting that first start and having the responsibility of Wayne here most of the way.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 23, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It was a double move by the Colts. Bottom of your screen. Ooh, of course, he stood there. That he's allowed to stay his ground. So I know it looks bad, and initially you see it, but the wide receiver cannot run through the defender. So Patterson, that was an excellent job. Hold your ground, not going for the fake.
It's the 3rd first down by penalty for Indianapolis. Fake to Brown. And Manning is sacked for only the 8th time this year. That gives Philadelphia a sack in 27 consecutive games. Darryl Tapp on the sack.
Number 91 inside, just keeps working. Darryl Tapp comes in there and gets Peyton Manning. What caused the sack, though, was excellent coverage down the field. He made this fake. He was going to go deep to his left. Good coverage again by Patterson.
And again, only the 8th one yielded by the Colts this year, fewest in the league. Second down throw, and it's Tammy to the 32. They gave him the underneath stuff. It's going to be about 3 yards short of the first.
Well, it's such a good blend by the Colts. It really is. Here in this crowd, this stadium, Philadelphia rested the week off. They threw a lot of screens. That gets you back on your heels a little bit, maybe gets you tired. Gives Peyton Manning just a little more time, and we're seeing they're looking for shots down the field. That's what they want to do. They'll throw a lot of short ones, but they're always looking to go long. You
saw Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator for the Colts. Peyton's hit his last 10 passes. Takes it under center on 3rd and 3. Gonna run for it. Spin by Brown. Interesting little move. That's the second time Brown has rushed for the first from 3rd and 3 or longer.
Yeah, really excellent job. He saw the defensive front.
Quickly to the line. Go right back to him. And that's Brown picking up 4.
How about Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, saying to us Friday, he came in, he was, he'd been outside. I said, well, what's going on? He was the quarterback. He was trying to simulate Peyton Manning as a quarterback to the defense, how fast it's going to go, what we're going to do, trying to get them ready for it. And hard to duplicate in practice, that's for sure.
Even wore the number 18 out there.
That's right.
He was playing the Peyton role.
All the coaches were his receivers. Boy, I know they were covered.
Great young talent. Defensive coordinator has been with this franchise for 12 years. As Manning has Collie, and the ball's out. Collie took a vicious hit. He's still down, hasn't moved. Collie is just absolutely frozen on the field. It was a collision with Coleman and Hansen.
Flag was thrown, so
well, that's awful to look at.
The ruling on the field is the pass is incomplete. Unnecessary roughness, defense, contact to a defenseless receiver, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Peyton Manning just loves
Please
this
put
kid.
223
He's
on the
down
game
on one
clock.
knee. Now up. Jeff Saturday looking in. Tell you, the Eagles are over here still reacting to this flag call.
Here it is. Nobody launches. Hit below the shoulder. It would be that call there.
I think
a defenseless player, helmet to helmet, would be the call, Jim.
But watch how violently Colley's head hits the ground.
Well, he's already out.
Right here. Is he already out?
He's out before he hits the ground. Watch his body right here. He's down. Kurt Coleman hit helmet to helmet. That's why the flag was thrown.
And here's another look at the Collie.
He catches it. Possession, 2 feet on the ground. 1, 2. He is now deemed a runner. Now look, I know it's a rough hit. And when in doubt, the officials are taught now, if there's any question, you throw the flag that it's a personal foul. But he gets a chance to protect himself. He turns into a runner. And once you are a runner, you are allowed to have helmet-to-helmet contact. You could see Austin Collie has time. He's trying to protect himself, but it's just the speed of the coverage coming towards him that puts him in that position.
He is still not moved. I see just the left leg, thankfully, now.
Yeah, I've
Slight
seen him
movement.
move his arms a little bit, Jim, even before this. But of course, in a situation like this, you can never be too careful. And I think receivers, you saw Austin Collie catch the ball. When you're running down the middle of the field nowadays, you know there's a reason why you're open, because there's two safeties, one coming from each side towards you. Try to protect himself, but the guys, they're fast, reckless, and there's big contact.
Calling now for signaling for a stretcher to be brought across the field too. Coleman, who actually collided with him helmet to helmet. Conley, who came back today and by a lot of estimates was back at least 2 weeks earlier than anyone expected him to be from a hand injury he had suffered.
Right.
I know I had said this earlier, but we talked to Peyton a few days ago. He was talking about, guys, don't be surprised if Austin Collie's out there. His kid always defies the odds.
Well, we've talked about him so much. Of course, we're hoping everything's going to be fine. And whenever we get any information, of course, to his family, to all fans out there, we'll let you know immediately.
Napoleon, president of the Colts.
You know, and let me just say this too, and then, of course, being careful with my words, but now you understand why, you know, so many people get upset about, oh, you can't do this about the game. You can't. Yes, you can. You want to make rules and do whatever you have to do, whatever you can do possible for player safety.
I couldn't agree more.
And anybody that look, I understand. I never played defense in the NFL. I know it's frustrating, but wow,
it's been interesting seeing though some people really getting so defensive about the recent crackdown on all of this, saying, hey, let us play the game. It's just outrageous. I mean, you see something like this right now. Yeah, go play football. Let somebody have a life, though, okay? Peyton's coming over to him right now.
Well, let's look at the hit one more time. And like we said, the officials always are going to err on the side of safety, and you would deem it a defenseless player if he didn't have time to protect himself, and that's why they threw the flag.
So after the 15-yard penalty, they operate from the Eagles 45 down the middle, right back down the middle they go, and it's Blair White with another flag thrown on the back end of this after the tackle. It went for 33 yards.
Personal foul, face mask, number 27, defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
And that one's on Quentin Michael.
Yeah, it's face mask. He got his hand. You don't have to grab the face mask. He got him inside up top where his forehead is, and that's still the same thing.
First to goal at the 7. James straight ahead, and James has the touchdown. Running behind that right side with Ryan Dean, Kyle DeVan.
Well, 2 plays, but this run right up the middle, Jeff Saturday gets a good block. You said it, Ryan Dean, excellent block. And Mike Pollock just engulfed his guy.
First career touchdown for the relative of Edgerrin James. Tavares James takes it in for the Colts from 6 yards out. 16-14 Philadelphia. It was a 9-play drive in all that covered 80 yards. Tavares James, rookie free agent out of the University of Miami. Kick. A liner to the 7. And a tackle out at the 30-yard line by Mike Newton. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights is coming up on the Sprint halftime report. You'll have the latest on that Kansas City-Oakland game with the Chiefs having their way so far. Down a minute to go in the first half there. Jason Campbell's had a real struggle out there today so far, the Raiders quarterback.
Inside 2 minutes, the umpire going back to his spot right where the linebackers are.
Here they come crashing in, and get the sack back at the 19. That's Eric Foster.
Well, we said it the drive before, Jim, that the defensive front for the Colts just more physical than the Philadelphia offensive line. Eric Foster, wow, just overpowered.
There's a loss of 10. The Foster sack. Coming after Vick again. He spins away from the heat. Zips it a little too high near the 50. That was intended for Jeremy Maclin. Hayden on the coverage.
Excellent job of getting out of trouble, but that football did get away from him. He was only trying to throw it about 40 yards on the line. So sometimes the quarterback, well, a lot of times when you try to give it a little extra oomph, it's going to go high.
Maclin without a catch so far. The Eagles have struck on some big plays, something they do with regularity.
2 things. Moving just a little behind the guards, tackles, to give him a different look. But Michael Vick is better the farther away he gets from the line of scrimmage. Like this.
All kinds of time. Completes it to Schmidt. Brought down at the 32. Now the Colts do have all of their timeouts.
You know, Jim, to go back to that, it's when Michael Vick takes a really deep drop, if he gets pressure, he escapes it much easier.
Colts take the timeout with 1:11 to go. Manning will get another crack before halftime. Sav Rocca out to punt. He's had 19 punts this year that have gone at least 50 yards. He's punting downwind. Blair White is the returner. This one he didn't catch. Oh, really off the side of the foot.
Off the inside of the foot because it went left.
Right to the 50. That's a 19-yard punt. Rocco averages about 47 yards a kick.
I don't think Andy Reid's mad. He's like looking at him, can't believe it. He almost smiled.
But just a first half that the Eagles, it seemed like they lived inside of the 10-yard line, the Colts 10-yard line. With Peyton with a minute to go before halftime, could actually have the lead by the intermission after all that. Goes underneath, Tammy to the 41 for 9. Not going to take a second time out here. It's going to reset.
Oh, absolutely. Most likely the defense is going to play safe. He knows that.
Goes run. It's got the first to the 37 and a timeout call with 38 seconds. Again, the Sprint halftime report coming up. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights and a review of the early action today. It's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. What a fascinating early window today, including how do you figure these Cleveland Browns 34-14 over the New England Patriots?
Yeah, they just did it like I say to you every once in a while. Being really physical and just out hitting the other guy is still the way to go in the NFL. It's the proven way to win. And that's what you say about it. And how about Peyton Hillis? We were watching just some of the highlights. It's like watching a running back out of 40s just rumbling through everybody.
Just a battering ram. 184 yards today for Hillis on the ground and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the 37. And that's Wayne with open space to the 18.
There was the Indy play coming underneath. Boy, I don't know the coverage. They must have got confused. Nobody ran with him.
Lobs it over the top to Tammy, incomplete. That was Michael and Stuart Bradley back there. That ends a streak of 13 consecutive Manning completions.
Peyton Manning keeps chipping at you, gets a lot of short completions, gets rhythm, feels good, tires your defense out just a little bit, makes the secondary start guessing. And now it's like I said to you the last series, we'll throw it short, but they're always looking deep.
16 seconds and 1 timeout. Looking for Wayne. Incomplete, no flag. That's Patterson on the coverage.
Good guess. It was a blitz again. But Dimitri Patterson playing it right, playing back, playing safe, knowing let him kick a field goal. Just don't give up the touchdown.
11 seconds.
Especially now with 11 seconds.
Off his fingertips. Coleman and Patterson on the coverage.
Jim, I don't like to always second guess, but why blitz? 11 seconds to go. So you blitz everybody. Look at the throw. Dimitri Patterson never saw the football. It was a perfect throw. Maybe, if anything, so hard Reggie Wayne couldn't come up the catch. That could have been a touchdown.
Vinatieri from 37 yards for the lead. McAfee gets it down, and the kick is good. And the Colts were down 13-0 in this one. Now lead it 17-16 with seconds to go in the first half. Vinatieri now 14 of 16 on the season. That field goal gives him 352 all-time made field goals, tying Eddie Murray for 11th all-time.
I'm not sitting there, but what did I say to you when the coin flip went on today?
You said if you're Philadelphia, which won it,
They took the ball.
Yep, you might want to think about.
I would give it to Indianapolis because of
you were
this.
afraid of the double into the first half.
Start of the second.
half.
Don't let Peyton Manning double up. Field goal. Michael Vick had to throw it away. Another field goal. 4 hits. Well, that explains a lot of the first half. 3 field goals by the Eagles, but just give all the credit. I'll tell you, I'm just giving a lot of credit to this Colts team. The start to overcome it, and they're having periods where they're dominating on both sides of the football now. But you're right. You know, I know you give it to Peyton Manning, but you don't have the double up.
Ball is out, and time is out as well. Went off the hands of Buckley. 17-16. Indianapolis lead at the intermission. Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And you're watching the NFL on CBS. Teams are coming out for the second half, with the Colts leading it here 17-16 after being down 13-0. Just the third play of the game. Vick to Deshaun Jackson for the touchdown. Then a Samuel interception set up the first of 3 Akers field goals. Manning led him back. 1 touchdown pass to Tammy. A run by James. Colts lead it. Third quarter coming up on CBS. Indianapolis will be receiving the second half kickoff, and we do have a new bit of news here on the Austin Collie situation. Bill Polian actually went into our production truck just a few moments ago to let us know that Austin Collie is in the locker room. He's sitting up and is alert, and they believe it's only a concussion. That's the word from Bill Polian.
Well, of course, that's good news. Yeah, it's going to be, that play is going to be debated so much this week by everybody, of course, on TV, and it's going to be looked at a lot by the NFL.
Let's take a look at the points of protection presented by Allstate. Colts protecting that goal line, giving up only 1 touchdown on 4 goal-to-go situations, 4 different goal-to-go situations inside the 10. Cornelius Brown, he's about a yard deep. Of course, the Collie injury, and hopefully it only is the concussion, what they reported to us just yet again. He was out last week, and the injury tally just continues to mount for a team that actually didn't even travel 5 of the regular players here this week, like Clint Sessions and Joseph Adai and Mike Hard, just on and on.
Yeah, you know though, Jim, come on. I mean,
I know you're going to say
there's something they're used to it because they've had so many injuries over the years that they know how to adapt, and their backups are ready. It's a tribute to the team, coaches, organization.
Back to the end zone after the 20. It's like Jim Caldwell told us too. He says nobody cares. Our fans don't care. You know, our ownership doesn't care. Just go win the game. Of course, I do think this is more dire than it's ever been.
Yeah, no, there is, and it's because when it starts hitting the big stars, that's when everybody takes notice. But it's right. An old coach of mine once said, "Hey, fellas, they only want to know one thing on Monday: did you win or you lose? Nobody cares about, well, this, that. They just want to know if you win or lose."
Of course, I should add to it that, of course, Anthony Gonzalez was put on injured reserve this week, so he joins Dallas Clark, done for the year. First down from the 20. Plowing ahead for 4. That's Donald Brown. In the first half, Manning 18 of 25, a touchdown, 1 pick. Vick 123 yards and a touchdown, 28 on the ground.
You think of that first half. The one thing the Colts and Peyton Manning, it seems like to be more cognizant of it here this year. They are, even if they're not greatly successful, they're going to get their rushing attempts in there.
That pass was intended for Gian Robinson.
And then we just hear it so many times. Look at this, 11 rushes, 27 passes, Now, I know that looks big, but the hurry-up offense at the end, but those 27 passes, at least 7 or 8 of them are really run plays. They're outside runs, all those quick screens.
By the way, Nate Allen, remember he got injured early second quarter, that fine safety rookie for the Eagles. X-rays negative, but he will not return, is the word we get from Philadelphia for today's game.
A little different look this time by the Eagles up front.
3rd and 5 and incomplete. That is Patterson. It's interesting. They've had Patterson all day on Wayne. They've kept Asante Samuel over there with Garcon. Patterson's done a pretty good job. Good part of the time.
He's there a lot. Got called one time we thought was a tough call. Here comes trouble up the middle. Payton very good at drifting to throw the football, but Patterson, good angle, good position. Sean McDermott said, technique, fundamentals, that'll get you through tough games.
McAfee does not catch this one cleanly.
Into the wind.
And it's a generous rollout. Additional 6-7 yards of bounce. 32 yards total. Vic and the Eagles will have it at the 43. Down 1. Early 3rd in Philadelphia. And we're back. 3rd quarter action at the Link in Philadelphia. And the Eagles' first possession of the second half.
They need a drive starter, Jim. Get it going. Get that first down. Make it easy for Michael Vick. That's not it.
That's McCoy. And that's Buffet coming up, driving him back for a loss of 5 yards. Boy, it could have been so much more. Right there in that first quarter, too. Getting shut down. How about a 96-yard field goal drive?
Well, yeah, I would say, well, that's the mark of this Indianapolis defense. It has been over the years. Not necessarily as great this year as they've been in the past. Been giving up more touchdowns in the red zone.
2nd and 15.
Did I say Eagles? I meant Colts.
That's Macklin's first grab. By the way, McCoy, after ripping off 62 yards on the first snap of the game, has managed just 3 rush yards since. Here he comes back out. Impressive young man we met with this week. 2nd-year player out of Pittsburgh who really can feel so much more confidence in his 2nd year and the game slowing down and all that stuff for him. Third and 7.
They thought maybe they could get him in the passing game in these situations.
Almost intercepted. Diving attempt by Kelvin Hayden.
You know what I said, that they hoped that Sean McCoy, they could get him in the passing game, but he's too busy trying to help out the pass blockers. Good, very good technique when you're covering the receiver going across the field. Stay on that inside hip so when the football's thrown, you can go underneath. Great job by Kelvin Hayden.
McCoy usually a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. He's one of only 3 players in the league to lead his team in rushing and total receptions. Now Rocca had that weak punt off the side of the foot right before halftime. That was officially 18 yards. It's going to help the average right here. That may be too much. Yeah, he flies it into the end zone. 55 yards it traveled. It'll come out to the 20. Both teams 3 and out to start the second half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The Miller Lite aluminum pint. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. And by Grown Ups on Blu-ray High Def and DVD November 9th.
The new NFL.com mobile apps are here. No matter where you are, you can stay in the game all season long. Go to NFL.com/mobile and learn more. Donald Brown just swarmed under at the line of scrimmage by Trevor Laws.
Well, you got Darryl Tapp, 91, standing up. They pull around there. Oh, just nowhere to go. Good job that time by the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, just holding the ground. Nowhere to go, nowhere to cut back. Trent Cole did a good job coming down the line of scrimmage.
Manning with heat, got it away, incomplete. And he hit the deck. Brandon Graham was in on him.
Trent Cole makes him step up. Boy, pretty tough. And you're right, Brandon Graham does a good job of coming underneath and forces the throw. And there was such good coverage down the field. Hansen, if the throw would have been better, was in perfect position to make the interception.
3rd and 10. Stepping up, hitting Blair White, who's ridden down. Joselio Hansen holds him to only a 3-yard gain, and another 3 and out for the Colts.
Yeah, how about that? Good job. Just when you look at what they've done here in the second half, both series, good coverage, pressure on Peyton Manning. That's a good recipe, of course, at any time. Well, again, Hansen doesn't get caught in the traffic, follows the receiver across the field, makes a good tackle.
And that's Blair White, a little slow to get up. Former walk-on at Michigan State, who came up off the practice squad week 3 right before the Denver game and then caught a touchdown in the game.
Well, what else? He did something else. Wow, right off the practice squad, comes into the game, catches a good big pass.
Jorrick Calvin respecting the leg of McAfee. He's back at the 35. McAfee again into the wind. Almost got to him. The kick again. Influence. There is a flag. They're going to have running into the kicker here.
It's personal foul. That's 15 yards.
It was 4th and 7.
Running into the kicker, number 57, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
So just a 5-yard penalty and still make it 4th and 2. Keenan Clayton.
I'm wrong. I think it was a good acting job. Well, he launched himself.
Yeah, he fell on Clayton. No contact.
But you have to give the kicker room to kick and come down to the ground. So that's why they threw the penalty flag down and gave him the 5 yards. Now, if you're on the defense, you have to be careful. Don't jump off sides and be alert for the fake.
This one bounces at the 45.
It hit a defender.
Yes, it did. Going to move it up to about the 45-yard line. Well, for the second time here in 2 series and a half, they start outside their own 40. The Eagles down 17-16. Jim Nance and Phil Simms here in Philadelphia. Vic meeting a Manning team, a Peyton Manning team, for just the 2nd time in his career. Over to Macklin. And he's stacked up and moved back a couple yards short of the first. He's slow to get up. Macklin. Collided with a couple of Colts. And we'll take an injury timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Charles Schwab. Get the help your money deserves. Talk to Chuck. And by the new Windows Phone. It's time for a phone to save us from our phones.
We'll come out of the break. Macklin is able to walk off just fine. 2nd and 1. Maybe they'll take a shot here. Phil, what do you think? Yard to go. 2nd down.
Well, the way they've been running, I don't think you could take for granted they can get a yard, so you might need 2 tries.
They go inside with McCoy, and he is able to pick up the first and a couple more. About Dwight Freeney today. He once played against Vic in college. 5 sacks.
5 sacks. Well, Dwight Freeney getting double teamed, getting chipped, and then, of course, he's going against one of the better left tackles in the NFL than Jason Peters. So there he is with John Tierley, the defensive line coach. Not much you can do when you're double teamed, and actually we did see a triple team one time.
Macklin is back out there. Just missed one snap, makes the catch. Pushed back by Cornelius Brown, and Francisco picks up 9.
Well, you were talking about Michael Vick going against Peyton Manning, looking forward to it so much. He says, yeah, get this look and I throw it, and they go, uh-oh, and it was just the start of a bad day as they lost badly to the Colts.
What do you say, 45-7? It was the first game for the Falcons after Dan Reeves left the Falcons. Said I had a quarterback rating of about a 13. You knew that. 2nd and 1. They go again with the run on the 2nd and short, and once again picking up 3 in that situation. McCoy. Wednesday on CBS, a performer could go from life in the spotlight to life behind bars. A new Defenders Wednesday, only on America's #1 network, CBS. Already in field goal range, down a point here, approaching mid-3rd. That's Foster chasing after Vic. Eventually able to get an incompletion out of it. Save the lost yardage. Vic, who has not thrown an interception this season.
He hasn't now. I think they're going to determine, even though he's outside the pocket, did the football get past the line of scrimmage? All it has to do is get close. Looked pretty close to me.
On the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
Okay.
So the line of scrimmage to 30.
I'll tell you what, even if he had good protection, nobody opened down the field even after all that scrambling.
That did not go past the line of scrimmage.
But it was close.
3 or 4 yards.
Was it that far?
Yeah, it looked like about the 33, 34.
Well, in my world, it's 3 or 4 yards close.
All right, 2nd and 10. Vic, boy, he had pressure coming on. Muwala from his backside.
Well, they're trying to run plays, play-action plays, to get the football down the field. A screen here, take advantage of the fact they're not blocking them very well. But the Colts, they just keep mixing it up. That time it was a blitz and just nowhere to throw the football. The screen is ruined. And Deshae Townsend, once again, in the middle of the play. But the good thing is they haven't lost yards. So downwind, they're absolutely in field goal range, which you've already said.
Again, they've only allowed 1 3rd and 10 conversion on the whole season. Talking about that Colts defense. 3rd and 10 here. Dawson chasing after Vic, and he's brought down after a gain of about 3. Hayden comes up and ends the play. Bring back Akers for a 4th time today.
Deep routes down the field. I tell you, Jim, the biggest reason why it's not working well, this passing game, because they're putting their extra, the running back, the tight end, they're doing everything to help block for Michael Vick. So the extra defenders down the field are all over the receivers.
It'll be a 44-yard field goal attempt. Akers has made his last 8, including 3 for 3 today. For the lead back. Drill City for David Akers. 19-17 Philadelphia. Mid-3rd. Back here in Philadelphia, Jim Nance with Phil Simms. David Akers has delivered 4 field goals for Philadelphia, giving them back the lead at 19-17. Some of you joined us a little bit late today. The Colts wearing their throwback uniforms for only the 2nd time ever. They did that on Thanksgiving Day back in '04 at Detroit. Yeah, Peyton threw 6 touchdowns that day, and versus only 5 incompletions, had the perfect quarterback rating. And there's Cornelius Brown being brought down. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings you a doubleheader. First, it'll be Ole Miss traveling to Rocky Top, take on Tennessee. And then later on, Georgia and Auburn. That's all the Home Depot SEC next Saturday on CBS. Back over to Tammy. He's got an open field. He runs it out near the 40. Jeff Saturday and Kyle Devan were out in front of him. Goes for 21.
This is what I call a drive starter. It's just exactly what you want. Easy to execute. Well, not easy. Look at the offensive linemen. 3 of them 20 yards down the field. No pressure on the quarterback. Well designed. Gets things rolling.
Blair White, he was shaken up earlier. He's back in there. Nowhere for Donald Brown to run, though. Eagles run right down the line with him, and that's Parker who falls on him. Loss of about 3. Again, some of you may have missed the update coming out of halftime that Austin Collie, the word we got from Bill Polian of Indianapolis is that he was alert and he was sitting up, and they think it's just a concussion. That's the team word sent to us. Went right to our production truck and passed that along. Delay give, Brown. And he fights for it about 3 yards short of a first. He got away from Parker. Picks up 9.
Well, really well done. First off the right side of the offensive line. This delayed draw. Brown gets away from Jaquaid Parker. That starts it all going.
Third and 3. Twice in this situation now. They've gone ground with Brown, and he's picked up the first. And try it again. Works again. To the Eagles 45. Gain of 8.
It's numbers. You see the defensive backs, they're way back. So Peyton Manning goes, we have enough guys to block everybody up front. They're thinking pass. Anytime it's third down and more than 2 yards against the Colts, all defensive linemen go, they got to throw it. So when he sees the defensive back playing pass, that's why he ran.
Over the top to Tammy. And that was Coleman who almost had a play on the pick. Well, when we talked to Peyton, he said, you know, we're not going to be that well-oiled machine. You know, it's not going to be a perfect timing every week because we just keep changing the parts out there, you know, in the passing game.
Well, that's right. The big thing, the injuries, we said it, practice, have to cut down reps. He goes, we talk a lot more now than just actually doing the plays. But Jacob Tammy, how about that? They're throwing to him just like he is Dallas Clark out there.
That's Brown taken down by Ernie Sims for a loss of a yard.
Ernie Sims, first-round draft pick, Detroit Lions, comes here, speed linebacker, fast, should be a good blitzer, and a good job redirecting.
Manning quickly to the line on third down. Going for the long ball. Garcon, and that was Samuel on the coverage. Airtight.
Beautiful, really was. Asante Samuel knew he had help inside. He was stayed to the outside, and of course he's fast enough to run with anybody in the NFL. Nowhere, perfect throw. There was no way you could make a perfect throw to get it in there.
Samuel, the former Patriot, who told us this week he's loving his time here in Philadelphia.
Love the city, a little different, the coaches. And he's got a defense that's set up for him to have success too. That always helps you really love where you're at.
Justin Snow, the long snapper, sends it back to McAfee. And there's no fair catch called. That's Calvin. And he is whacked right away. 26-yard punt. Some of the early headlines when we talked about Peyton Hillis, the Browns. Next week we'll host the Jets. They beat New England today. Only the second loss of the year for New England. Favre leads the big comeback from 14 down in the fourth to beat the Cardinals in overtime. And in overtime, the Jets survive the Lions. The Jets, the only team in the AFC East to win today. There are the Hillis numbers. This is a shocker. Favre for the first, well, the highest yardage total of his career. 466. Stepping out of bounds. That's Jackson. Near another first for Favre. His 62nd career 300-yard game. That's only one now behind Dan Marino for most 300-yard games.
I really like what the Eagles have done a few times. First down, throwing the short passes to the outside. Michael Vick gets rid of it. Easy to see the sidelines. He has plenty of arm to get it done. When they're trying to throw it deep down the field, he's not getting the protection, and nobody is getting open.
McCoy, he's got an opening. Francisco hits him. So does Anger. Gain of about 9. Now there is a flag back in the Colts secondary area.
Francisco will stop.
After the play was over, there are offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls on both teams. Number 10 on the offense, number 27 on the defense. The result of the play is it's short of the first down. It'll be second down, Philadelphia.
Here's what Carl Cheffers was alluding to. Jacob Lacey, Jackson. There's a lot of action going on there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good cat fight.
Eagles have come back, second and a yard to go. Riley Cooper, an extra receiver here at the bottom of your screen. That picks up the first completion to McCoy today. Anger brings him down right away. Now Kevin Cobb, of course, started some games here. That whole quarterback, well, controversy, whatever you want to call it here. There's Kevin Cobb, fourth-year man out of the University of Houston. And when we talked to Andy Reid about his quarterbacks, he called it a weird dynamic between his two, Vick and Cobb, because they're so close, so supportive of one another.
Yeah, Michael Vick says, I've always gotten along with the other quarterbacks that I've played with. You're right, best friends, played golf together a lot.
Vick with a flag thrown. This is probably coming back. Selleck will be able to walk it in, but it's coming back. Robert Mathis was tangled up with Winston Justice.
Number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It was a good hold, because if he doesn't hold, Michael Vick's probably going to get hit from behind. Going to be a fumble. Winston Justice, right tackle. Watch the top of your left of your screen. Gets beat there. Oh, arm in front, and he stays with it, which is good job. See, there are such things as good holds. Michael Vick felt it, but it was late before he realized he was in trouble from behind.
So the Eagles now drop back to the 34 with 2:24 to go in the third.
Well, when you watch that last play, Jim, you understand why LaShawn McCoy has not been a big part of the passing game, because they're worried about the defensive end, so he's been chipping them all day long.
Timeout, Philly.
Yeah, just
McCoy usually such a threat out of the backfield, but they need that added reinforcement today.
There's no question. We can tell that. Michael Vick says, stay back here with me.
McCoy gave us about a good 5 minutes, an earful about chipping.
How hard it is.
How hard it is, and learning all about that in the second year. By the way, next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. Regional action headlined by the likes of the Bengals and the Colts, the Jets and Cleveland. Tennessee, Miami, Houston at Jacksonville, Kansas City at Denver. Check your local listings. And, of course, it all begins with our favorite 5 in the NFL Today studios, 12 noon Eastern time next week on CBS.
I think LaShawn McCoy finds out what a lot of running backs find when they come to this league. Hitting these big defensive ends, tackles when they're coming through. It's rough stuff.
Movement on that left side for the Eagles. It's Peters.
False start, number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Really a disjointed game almost all day long by the Eagles offense. They just haven't gotten in rhythm, and you just got to give a lot of credit to the Colts defense. Michael Vick, even when he gets around and moves, they're not really doing anything special. They're just letting the speed of their defense running down when he runs.
Now 1st and 25, and they go screen with McCoy. Great piece of tackling over there by Jacob Lacey.
Well, you got to slow him down a little bit when there's a screen. Just because it's a screen, you can't say, let him go. Watch Robert Mathis over here. Oh, my gosh, just that. Now you got Foster, defensive lineman, Lacey on the tackle.
Crowd here wanting a little face mask call. Foster had a hand in there maybe for a second. They see another replay of it. They have no doubt here at home what they felt should have been a flag. 2nd and 26. Deep drop for Vick. Rifle shot. Complete to the 50. Boy, that is a lively arm.
Oh, it's something like I haven't seen going to NFL camps, but
you like it when he goes this deep. Drop it back.
The farther back he is. Look, Michael Vick at best, we're going to be kind, is 6 foot tall. So here's what happens. He's going to go out here, but watch the route, how it Jackson, he's not open initially, stops, then works back outside. Michael Vick with the extra protection makes a strong throw.
From 2nd and 26 to 3rd and 4. Here comes Mathis again. Vick feels it. Runs out of it. Open field at the 30. Buffet giving chase. And Vick is down at the 17 in the red zone. 33-yard run.
And like we said, again, when he's deep, he's a better thrower down the field. Look how far this is. He's 11, 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage, dropping back to throw it. Now the defense expands. He can see better, and when he recognizes an opportunity to run, he takes off. And he keeps talking about not getting hit. Right here, go out of bounds. Why cut it back and get nothing?
That's one that'll be reviewed in the films this week with his coaches.
Yeah, for
go
the
ahead
team.
And slide at that point.
You've proven that you can play.
Almost intercepted and a flag. That was Gary Brackett who had his hands on it.
He was watching all the way.
And an open field ahead, and he made the snag.
Defensive call into the 3rd quarter. One more untimed play by the offense if they want it. If it's on the defense.
Holding. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Call that the end of the quarter. They'll continue driving as we start the 4th. You're watching the NFL on CBS. You know, while we were away, they figured out what you had already said about they could have run another play.
Yes.
Went over and discussed it with Andy Reid. We want to go back, want to move back to the other end. The players had already moved to the other end of the field.
He thought about it and he goes, no, let's just go the other end.
Let's get to the fourth. Here we go.
But it is in the win. Not that it matters with Michael Vick throwing it.
First down, it's McCoy. Anger shoves him out of bounds inside the 10. Starting to use McCoy now out of the backfield. That's 3 grabs here. First 3 of the day coming in the last few minutes.
Well, when you're going to throw it to him, it's got to be quick because you know you're not getting extra help now, protection.
Back inside the 10 again.
Well, Jim, you've heard me say it many times. Inside the 10-yard line, it's about deception. Can you make somebody move thinking it's one type of play when it's something else?
Look at this formation. 3 lined up behind Vick. Avant comes out. Rolling out. There's the throw. Stretching it out. No. That was Avant inside of the 1.
Yeah, Michael Vick wants the touchdown throw, but a really good, solid play designed. This is a staple of the Bill Walsh offense, which Andy Reid is a student of. Does Avant make it inbounds as he jumps?
The nose
hits the pylon.
Body was out of bounds, though.
Does Andy? Where was he out of bounds?
Let's see. Was his body out first? Yes. Hip was out before the...
He's thinking of challenging. Anytime it's a scoring play, you want to challenge.
And there comes the flag at the last second.
And I know what you're thinking. Well, they're so close. Hey, never take for granted you can get in from 2 inches.
So he throws the flag. Like you said, it would have been first and goal from inches away. He wants to have a chance to appeal that last play and see if he can get a touchdown out of it in the end.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was short of the goal line. We'll review the play. Timeout.
Will it be an Avant touchdown or first and goal at the 1? Well, watch this. Trying to get that nose to the pylon before the body's out of bounds.
The ball is not touching. It's close. That's an unbelievable spot by the officials, but I'm going to tell you this. It's not a bad challenge by Andy Reid. I really believe this, because how many times have you seen a running play down here from the 5-inch line lose 2 yards? I was watching a college game 2 weeks ago. The runner goes out about the half-yard line. They mark it. They show a replay. He scored. I know what they're thinking. We won't challenge. Nobody says anything. They lose 2 the next one. They end up kicking a field goal. You can't take for granted that you're going to score when you get this close to the goal line.
Of course, you risk a timeout here.
Well, you do that too. Second half, tight game. Timeouts are always crucial, but scoring overrides timeouts in the second half.
Andy Reid trying to win again coming out of a bye. He's 11-0 all time. First game after the bye. Here we go.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Philadelphia will be charged with their second timeout.
So they have 1 timeout to go the final 14 minutes.
I wasn't looking at the big board. Did they show on the big board that he is short? Well, they'd still boo and say,
So again, it's still first and goal. Harriman's ready to dig in. McGlynn.
That last play you saw the Eagles run to Jason Avant, Bill Walsh, Jerry Rice, even receivers before that. It's been run 10,000 times in the NFL.
It's a sneak bouncing around. Vick, they're going to drive in. Anger says no. Touchdown, it's ruled. Touchdown. Now one surge across the plane.
Shoot, he's a yard short right there, but he hangs in there and keeps working. I don't know if he made it.
Well, I thought that Avant was closer to scoring than that.
Yep, but I don't think you. Boy, look at the surge inside by that defensive line.
Now, if you're the Colts,
do you challenge it?
You got a chance to challenge it. I see a red flag in the hands of Caldwell, and here it comes.
There it comes. Dan Muir, he was the one that got it done. You can replay it if they don't see it. There they go. If they kick that extra point, it could be brought back because he threw that red flag way before the ball was snapped. Yeah, we're arguing over in inches here in this game.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown. We'll review the play. Timeout.
So Carl Cheffers and Jeff Lambert and the officials discussing with Caldwell. We'll be right back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty. Rogue Skyline. This Friday, our first encounter will be our last stand. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
We're back reviewing another challenge situation. This flag thrown by Jim Caldwell. He wants the touchdown taken away. Did he cross the plane? Anger. Standing up Vic, who's trying to...
I don't think he made it, Jim.
I don't either.
Oh, good shot of the line. And that's as far as he got. From there, it went backwards. I don't mean to beat this up, but how many times the NFL's just changed so much. It used to be if you got to the 2-yard line, you could just power it in the end zone. But the techniques of the defensive linemen have gotten so good, and the timing of the linebackers, knowing when they hit the line of scrimmage, hard to get that extra yard down there.
After review, the runner is short of the goal line. It is not a touchdown. It will be 2nd and goal on the 6-inch line. Indianapolis is not charged with a timeout.
Tell you what, Jim Caldwell, good challenge by him. He saw what happened on that quarterback sneak. Oh, boy. Well, a lot of things have been said about Philadelphia fans over the years. One thing you can never say that they're not passionate.
That's right.
My gosh, you come down here, you listen to talk radio, your head explodes.
Vic going low this time. No signal yet.
Just going to make sure he has the football. Looks like he got in there. Quick snapped it.
A touchdown signal. It is a touchdown.
Oh, good job. Good job. The good quick snap count really, I think, was the difference that time. And Nick Cole, the right guard, good job. Of course, the center, Mike McGlynn.
Well, it's a touchdown. It's the 25th career rushing touchdown for Mike Vick.
What's the holdup? They signal touchdown.
Trying to untangle all the bodies. Akers is out there, and the Colts. And I think there are a few appeals being made out on the field. Okay, 8-point game. Make it 9. Make it a 2-possession game right here. And the first 10 points of the second half. Hold on, we got a flag. Seems like we've been down at this end of the field for a while.
Lined up in the neutral zone, number 39 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The extra point is good. Timeout.
Big 5 yards into the win.
Ten-play drive, and the Eagles with Vick taking it the final inch. Mike Vick today, 1 rush touchdown, 1 pass touchdown, and no giveaways.
What'd you say? The Eagles have done what today?
They've scored 6 of the 8 times they've had the football today.
That's incredible. To me, it seems like they've struggled almost except for the first drive of the game.
This is a good kick here into the wind by Akers, forcing the touchback. He had a career high 5 touchbacks in the last game at Tennessee. Now, for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Colts and Eagles, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms and all the crew here. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at its regularly scheduled time.
What did Michael Vick say? You come here to this team, you have a lot of people coaching the quarterback. Doug Peterson, ex-quarterback, Marty Morningwig, of course, Andy Reid, and then James Urban, the quarterback coach.
That's a lot. There's Peyton. Able to get that over to Wayne for 6. Of course, what did Peyton Manning say about playing here? He'd never played in this stadium before, so of course he consulted his kid brother, who comes here every year. Eli warned him. Extremely loud.
Yeah, well.
So you'll notice that it feels like the crowd is very close in, pinched in.
That's a good thing for quarterbacks. Makes it easier to throw.
And that's incomplete, but flags are coming out. Bernie Sims was on Tammy.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 50, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic.
Why does that
down.
make it easier for the quarterbacks to throw?
It just gives you more confidence. It makes the field look small. So when you throw, it's like you play, I always hate to make golf references. Sometimes you play a golf hole and it might be, but it looks short. It makes you feel confident, feels good, and so you perform better. The big open stadiums back in the old days, the baseball stadiums, wow. Felt like I was out in a parking lot trying to throw the football.
Look at the first down breakdown for the Colts today.
6 by penalty, of course. Not of course, but some pass interferences, offsides, holding.
That's Garcon. Oh, that almost looks identical to a play we saw in the Super Bowl coming across the middle where he failed to hold on to it. This one's a little
it's pretty
away
tough.
from him. Yep.
It's away, but it takes him up the field, which really makes it difficult. And a little low.
Garcon with 1 catch.
That was a chance to make a big play. That was an all-out blitz. Picked up. If he catches it in stride, it's a big race.
Colts have 49 yards of offense in this half. Peyton hit when he threw it. 3rd and 10 coming up.
One of my favorite sayings about when people get ready to do games, they go, the quarterback really hates pressure. Really? Wow. Tell me that guy that loves it. But Peyton Manning that time, he couldn't even create space. He wanted to move, nowhere to go. The Eagles uniformly just pushed it back and got all around his feet.
To the 41 for the first.
See, they got 3 down defensive linemen. Then they have 1 walking around, not sure where he's going to come from. That's Darryl Tapp.
Down the sideline and over the head of Reggie Wayne. Patterson on the coverage.
What a day he's having. How about it?
Kid's never started a game before today.
He's doing a terrific job. Pressure up the field. Graham up there, but Peyton Manning has plenty of time once he steps up to make the throw, but nobody is open.
Here's McAfee on the punt to Jackson. Back pedals to the 15. Better tuck that ball away. Jackson taken off, and a flag's thrown. That would win a flag tossing contest. That one flew about 20 yards in the air.
It's amazing. I thought it happened right in front of one, no call, and then that was 50 yards away.
Colts forced to punt here as Manning's hit only 3 of his last 14 passes.
During the return, holding, number 38 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, timeout.
All right, so the Eagles take possession back with 12:41 to go and leading the Colts by 9.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint, the Now Network. And by Subway. Wake up to Subway. Come in before 11 a.m. and get the newest $5 footlong breakfast sandwich, the Sunrise Subway Melt.
All right, 9-point lead. You got the ball back. You keep Peyton on the sidelines for a while here. What's your strategy if you're the Eagles?
Well, first off, I want to go back. That was a good call by the officials. It was a block in the back, hold, whatever you want to call it. So I did see it. It just took a long time for him to recognize the strategy here for the Eagles. All out, go. Good drive starter, and keep Michael Vick, keep changing where he is going to throw the football from.
McCoy. Gain of about 2. Of course, Andy Reid, one of the most tenured coaches in the NFL, head coach here since 1999. We kind of describe him as one of those old-timey kind of coaches.
Absolutely. I think you're right there. Just the way he's grown up, the way he thinks about football. Being in Green Bay, the tradition, being here for so long.
7 years as an assistant up in Green Bay. Of course, during the bye week, he went up to New York and saw Lombardi, the new play there with Dan Lauria. Said he had all those little quirky movements down.
He did. Yeah, and of course, like we said, being a coach in Green Bay for 7 years, he's heard every story there is about all those great players.
That's McCoy. He's about 2 yards short of the first. I'll tell you something else we found. He's an old player, of course. Played at BYU as a lineman for Lavelle Edwards, but go back to 19. This is the punt, pass, and kick contest. Look at the throw. Okay, not an impressive throw, but did you see there's a little bit of a size advantage?
That was hilarious. We were talking about that. That's the first time I've seen it.
Wearing a uniform of Les Josephson at the time for the Rams. So Gary Brackett shaken up, and we'll take an injury timeout. Brackett walked to the bench. The Eagles will have 3rd and 2 here in a moment. Now, I don't know, punt, pass, and kick contest. Who do you like in this one? Which kid would have to be favored?
I'll tell you, Andy Reid is tearing up that uniform.
That was a Monday night game. Back in 1971, it's 13 years old. Yeah, a little bit of advantage here. Can somebody spell the name right?
Oh, that is awesome. And look how close his face is to the face mask. Couldn't get a helmet to fit him at that age. 13 years old he was there.
3rd and 2. Good grab. That's Jackson, and he dives for the first.
Yeah, kind of saw him run this in practice. Eagles now really getting a much better feel of how to run their offense. Backs going one each way. Put it to hands into somebody like Deshaun Jackson, who can make somebody miss and get that extra yard or two. Well, that's one thing I think they've done a pretty good job of here in the second half. Getting the football out of Michael Vick's hands. You saw the pass to Jason Avant, some quick throws to the outside, a couple swing passes to a running back and to a wide receiver, helping that offensive line out.
Vick at 200 yards passing. Hit his last 7 throws. Hands it off McCoy, no gain. Inside the NFL coming up on Wednesday night on Showtime. Look forward to hearing you break it down, Phil. You and JB, Chris Collinsworth, Warren Sapp, the multi-award winning Inside the NFL Wednesdays on Showtime. Right, so above average, of course, the big chunk coming on the very first play of the game, 62 yards, McCoy. Almost intercepted. Diving attempt by Philip Wheeler.
It's the same play we saw him hit earlier. That time Philip Weaver was out in space, and Michael Vick stared at it so long he came off and came across the field and almost makes the interception.
Wheeler rolling around in pain.
Well, he just dove. And when they dive like that, when you dive like that as a player, Jim, they just you can't protect yourself once you go to the ground.
Wheeler did not start this game. Pat Anger started in his place. Brackett went out just a couple of snaps ago. He's still sitting over there on the bench. Clint Session already out and inactive with an elbow injury. So the linebacking ranks getting a little thin too for the Colts as they tape up Brackett. Tonight on 60 Minutes, President Obama's only interview since Tuesday's elections, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, CSI Miami. Tonight only on CBS, America's #1 network. It's 3rd down and 10 to go. Out to the 32 needed for the first. First down grab by Jackson. 18 yards. Well, they've already had it for about 3 minutes on this drive.
Yeah, let's just watch the throw. Good patience, time. And you know, Jim, let me tell you, these are missiles.
Yeah, they really are.
They're missiles, and they're clean. So in other words, they're perfect spirals. Look at the coverage, how close they were to Deshaun Jackson. But Michael Vick, you'd think there was nobody else on the field, out on the field. He just pierced it right through the wind. Easy to catch. Football is that hard, and they spin and rotate. Easy for the wide receivers to hold on to.
Jackson over 100. New set of downs. McCoy, no gain. That was Wheeler, who missed one play, came back in there, made the tackle. What about Vick's day?
Well, I think as this game is going on, it just kind of gets better and better. And just learning to put it all together. His physical abilities, and now with an offense that's making him think, he understands more. It's like he told us, he's really first guy in, last guy out. Loves it. Of course, having Kevin Cobb as his best friend, who Andy Reid says they got to monitor Kevin Cobb because he'll never leave. It's just a good combination, and it's all shown in Michael Vick's play.
2nd down and 10. Ball tipped incomplete. That was Wheeler on the coverage. Jackson the target. Vick, when he came back after being in prison for 544 days, actually shifted around to 8 different prisons during that time. He would watch the games on Sunday and said he saw a lot of Kansas City Chiefs games.
Yeah, they were good. So he goes, well, that was some rough watching.
But he said when he came back, the only confidence he had was in his arm.
Right.
Because that first time he dropped back, the mechanics and all, his legs were slow to come back.
Right.
Big difference, too, between the Mike Vick that came back last year and now this year.
The one we see. And he noticed it right away when preseason started, when the live action against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He goes, I can do this now.
The 3rd down, running for it, and going to be right on it at the 50. I believe he's got the first.
Yeah, he's got it. What a weapon. And that's what it's all about. When you can run like this. This is the fastest quarterback that's ever played football in the National Football League. And it's all about knowing when to do it. To keep your eyes down the field. That's the one thing the Colts said about Michael Vick. Now when he runs, they notice his eyes are up. He's looking for the big pass play.
Peyton Manning just shaking his head. They can't get that Eagles offense off the field. They've converted twice on 3rd and 10.
Dwight Freeney gambled on the rush. Another first down.
Up ahead, it's McCoy for about 6. We got an update on the Chiefs and Raiders. James Brown.
Hey, Jim and Phil, Kansas City retakes the lead off of a muff punt by Oakland's Nick Miller. Matt Castle, make that Matt Castle, hooking up with Dwayne Bowe. 20-yard strike that capped a 5-play, 30-yard drive. 2017, 6:13 left in regulation. KC on top, Jim and Phil.
All right, and as you see out west, San Diego now wins today at Houston at 4-5. That's a midseason important game. Kansas City and Oakland with 6 minutes to go.
Muff punts, fumbles returned for touchdowns, block kicks every week in the NFL.
Vick trying to escape Hagler. It'll be another 3rd down situation. Vick is within 23 yards of Steve Young in career rushing yardage. And Young is currently 2nd all-time on the quarterback rush list. Randall Cunningham #1. So Vick could move into 2nd position before this one's over. Brackett's back out on the field.
Kelvin Hayden on just terrific coverage. They were trying to throw the quick pass outside, and what a job by Michael Vick. During his motion, he stopped it, pulled it down, took off running.
Well, they've had 3 of 3 conversions. 3rd down on this drive. Had the football for almost 6 minutes. And they'll need 5 more to pick up the first.
Ball start, number 74. Offense, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Talking about Andy Reid as a player, of course, you saw him as a kid. He went on and played college football. And his first coaching job was 1982 as a graduate assistant at his alma mater, the year BYU won the national championship. He was there coaching with his mentor, Lavelle Edwards, who he checks in with, and they communicate every week.
Every week. Really interesting. It's pretty cool to hear.
Old college coach, Coach Lavelle, one of the great ones. Helping out a little bit from out there in Utah.
Knows every move the Eagles are making.
3rd down, and Vick's pass is incomplete. That was over the head of Macklin. Well, they changed field position, and they used about 6.5 minutes. They'll punt it away now.
It's a good idea up the field there inside. The coverage is tight, and Michael Vick is trying to throw it to his back shoulder, but again, it gets away from him just a little bit, and no way Macklin can make the catch.
6:41, in fact, was the time elapsed on that drive. Blair White waiting. He returned punts Monday night, had a couple of good returns against the Texans. Rocca forces a fair catch at the 14. Well, we saw big comebacks by the Jets and the Vikings earlier today. Can Payton and the Colts do it here? Now, early in the game, Jackson on the receiving end. Akers with the field goals. He's made 4 on the day. Tammy takes it across off of Manning. Little toss. James runs it in. A Vick keep from a yard out. And we're at 26-17.
Colts, of course, need 2 scores, so the Eagles defense, you need to be aware of that situation and don't gamble.
Get the pass underneath the Wayne. Gain of 8. Well, the Colts, they scored 10 points in the last 2 minutes of the first half. They need 2 scores in this one. Wayne again, written down by Hansen. First down. Good for 5.
You know, that drive all the time the Eagles took off the clock, Jim, but the biggest thing, of course, well, another thing, field position. And something they've been doing a good job all day today. When they have the opportunity, they're making the tackles.
Tammy brought down by Bradley. But first it goes for another 12.
Now, if it was me, I would not have a linebacker matched up against the tight end in any of these situations.
Incomplete. Intended for Tammy. Payton.
This time it's Tammy on the outside. Yep, ball did come out. I said don't get him against the linebacker. That time it was Trent Cole, defensive end.
Now on second down, it's over to Donald Brown. He's got first down yardage. And a total of about 14 in all to the 46 of the Eagles.
You know, in situations like this, and the offense gets rolling, and you've got a 2-score lead here, when you want to stop the momentum, if you don't like any matchups, use your timeouts in this situation. Well, the Eagles only have 1, but it's not something you don't worry about saving it when you're 2 scores up. Back
to Brown. Takes it down to the 32. Another 14.
And with the Colts, keep it moving. Try not to use any of the timeouts here. That way, no matter what you score, you can kick off and you make the Eagles keep playing.
And Peyton just throws the incompletion at the feet of Tammy. Well, Tom Moore, he's still out there grinding it. First man on the field every time you go to a Colts game. Hours before you see Coach Moore taking a walk in solitude. And today is his birthday. 75 today.
Remarkable man. A remarkable career in the NFL.
Really.
Doesn't get the credit, never has, for all the different offenses he's run and had success.
Never wanted it. Manning is back at the 42. That is Ernie Sims. And a loss of 8.
It's just perfect timing by the Eagles defense. Ernie Sims, they haven't really blitzed in this drive. And look at number 50. He just gets a running start. He's going full speed when the football is snapped, and the offensive line running back cannot block him.
To Tammy, in and out of his hands.
Wow, perfect throw.
Just like that, it's 4th and 18.
He's got him down the middle. It's another blitz.
Oh, should have been caught. Fourth down, got to get to the 23. Ball's out. Flags down. Recovered by the Eagles.
Unnecessary roughness, number 58. Contact to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Trent Cole, 58, coming from the left side. Here he comes. He's trying to swat the football. And he hits the back of Peyton Manning's helmet.
Is that a penalty in your mind?
It's a blow to the head. So by the rule, yes, it's a penalty. And people say, well, it's not. I understand. So where are you going to start drawing the line? So if you're going to make these rules up, then you got to call it. Is it a tough call? It's beyond tough. It's an incredible call against your team, but it is the rule.
And it's a first down on a 4th and 18. Wayne down to the 19. Call that has absolutely kept them in the game.
Oh, yes, the game was absolutely, it was over.
Yep.
Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Another first down at the 19. And Tammy holds on at the 13.
Still have not used their timeouts. So no matter if it's a touchdown or a field goal, they're going to get it back if they stop the Eagles at 3 downs.
Diving catch by White gives them a 1st and goal to go.
And the Eagles defense, really, that was good for the Eagles. Let them catch it, because look at the time that's going off the clock.
James is in the backfield. He scored from this far out in the second quarter. They go back to him. This time they close in on him at the 3.
It looks like you think Peyton Manning should be going faster, but you really can't. You got to make sure you're lined up. You can't give away a play. One negative play and the game is over.
Will he get a snap off before the 2-minute warning? Just in time. Back to James. And here's where Peyton goes run, knowing he's going to get the clock stoppage at the 2-minute warning. They're a yard away. 3rd and goal coming up out of the break. 3rd and goal coming up for the Colts, and Trent Cole was down for most of that break, getting some medical attention. He's going to sit out this play coming up.
It looks like we couldn't find out what happened. Looks like he just lost his breath. But even though this drive could result in a score, the Eagles at least made them eat a lot of time off the clock.
'15th play of the drive. 4th team running back flanking Manning. Javaris James. They go back to James. He's got his 2nd touchdown of the day. Colts are in.
Now I think when the Colts kick this extra point, I think they'll kick off. They will not onside kick. Kick off, make your defense stop them in 3 plays, then you'll have much better field position. You onside kick and you don't get it, even if you stop them, you have to drive too far to try to get a game-winning field goal.
Vinatieri makes it a 2-point game. Took the Colts 4 minutes, 7 seconds to drive down the field, and that drive again kept alive by that flag on 4th and 18.
Got a couple plays today that are going to be debated a lot. And that one surely will. You know what happens is you're trying to strip the football, so your arm is going to go high. And Trent Cole, his arm goes high, and then accidentally hits Peyton Manning's helmet.
Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, President Obama's only interview since Tuesday's elections, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, CSI Miami, tonight only on America's #1 network.
So what do you think? Do you think that I say they kick it off deep? Well, because
you got that, you realize 1 first down then by the other side would end it, but you know, the last time the Eagles had it, they kept it for 6:40.
I know, but it's different trying to keep the football now in this situation to win the game. To run out the clock, it's much harder. Your play selection is limited. They don't have a return set here either, so you can get them backed up.
McAfee handles the kickoff chores for the Colts. They're going downfield. Over the head of Jackson into the end zone. And they'll start at the 20, as you wanted it.
I just think it's the better play. You onside kick it. The Eagles got the ball on the 40. They're going to kick it inside the 10. Now what are you going to do?
Again, the Colts with all 3 timeouts.
You're right. No matter how you look at this, 1 first down, that's all. Even if it's a first down on the first play, would almost guarantee a victory. Good call.
They go into round with Jackson. He's got the first down, picks up 11.
What a call. That's what you do. The Colts had everybody inside looking for any type of run. Look at this. Look at all the defenders inside. Nobody has outside contained. Dwight Freeney gets caught. Kelvin Hayden, there's no way he can stop it either because he's running across the field full speed.
And the Colts did not take a timeout after the Jackson run.
Well, now they're going to try to use it 1st, 2nd, and 3rd downs right here. Michael Vick got 5 seconds, 6 seconds ago when he ran it.
They go right back to Jackson. He's not going out of bounds. He's going to fall after a gain of 6. Takes it under a minute. Now the first of 3 timeouts by Indianapolis. Boy, the Colts in November, they've been a sure thing for a long time, since November 11th, 07. The last time they lost in the month of November out at San Diego. Chargers beat them 23-21.
Is that when Peyton threw all those interceptions?
Yeah, it was just a strange
What a call by Marty Morningway to come back with reverse again. I know it's a little, and I'm nitpicking, but Michael Vick snapped that football with 5 or 6 seconds.
That's not a little nitpick.
You gotta snap it at 1. Of course, now it doesn't matter with the clock stopped.
He'll pick up 4 yards. That would do it. They almost went to it again. That's McCoy in traffic, 2 yards short of the first. And the quick timeout at 54. Now the NFC East standings, the Giants blew out Seattle. They won in a walk today. And of course the Eagles sitting right here at 4-3 with 54 seconds to go.
New York Giants are absolutely playing better than anybody in football right now.
The odd thing about the Eagles, this is their 8th game, and they played only 1 division game so far. So 5 of their last 8 will be inside that division, while the Colts are at 5-2, and they've played 5 of their first 8 on the road.
Well, you know, of course, you always hear it. Well, let the quarterback go outside and give him an option to do whatever. But with Michael Vick, it's a reality. Most of the time they say it's not.
3rd and 2, and whistles first.
Third and final charge timeout, Philadelphia. A 30-second timeout.
Well, the Eagles, they call that from the sideline. It's going to have a real division flavor the rest of the way, including the next 2 in Washington. Redskins have already beaten them once. Giants, Chicago over Buffalo today. Game played up in Toronto.
Yeah, at Chicago. So nothing. Hey, look, none of those are easy. You're going, oh, come on, look at the Cowboys. That'll be easy. You look, in the NFL, nobody throws in the towel anymore like they used to.
Cowboys, their opponent 2 of the last 4. Dallas tonight plays at Green Bay. Jeff Saturday not looking too optimistic about getting the football back.
Well, no matter what, this is it has to be a run, just because you got to play the odds to keep the clock moving.
Oh, this if it's against the Eagles, that's going to certainly give the Colts a very good chance of getting this football back.
Well, the Eagles really were upset about the call. Was somebody yelling the signals, which is unsportsmanlike conduct?
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Another penalty for the Eagles. They've wrapped them up today. It's their 13th one. There's a little flinch by Nick Cole. Again, they had to move him in today with Gene Gillis injured early in the game.
What they were all yelling about was Eric Foster flinched like to simulate the start of a snap count. And of course he did it on purpose. This is a great move. Put Michael Vick in the shotgun, give him the opportunity to run.
On 3rd and 7. He is going to run, and he's tackled from behind by Robert Mathis. And the Colts call the timeout with 47 seconds. And that's the last timeout for the Colts. Again, here's a lineup tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, CSI Miami, only CBS. So Rocca will come in and punt into a breeze that's settled down a little bit.
Yeah, it has a little. I haven't noticed it affecting the punts like it was before early in the game.
Blair White is back to receive the punt. He's standing at the 20. Boss sends it back cleanly. Now the fair catch calls. Not a long punt. So at the 26-yard line, 40 yards in all, with 40 seconds to go.
And downwind.
Downwind. You got to get to, let's say, get a chance, maybe the 35, the opponent's 35. You need somewhere around 40 yards.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere between the 35 and 40 with the wind. And the fact that it would be the last play of the game, basically, then the kicker can gamble, kick it lower if he thinks he needs a few extra yards.
Eagles need to keep him in the field of play. No timeouts left on either side. That's Garcon. They had a chance to bring him down in the field of play, but he's able to hustle out of bounds. This is just a gain of a yard. That's all. It took 7 seconds.
How about that? They get the blitz, they hit the receiver full speed, but everybody alert, only gives up a yard. And the Eagles came with the blitz. When the game is on the line, you have to do what you do best.
33 seconds. To Tammy with the catch. Sims pushed him out, but it gains 15. We're down to 27 seconds.
I know this is what they work on. Jacob Tammy, nice throw. Good job under pressure again by Peyton Manning. I would put a defensive back on Jacob Tammy.
Trent Cole, who was banged up on the last series, he's back out there. That's 11 catches for Tammy in this game. Incomplete over the head of Garcon. Garcon, who's been locked down most of the day by Asante Samuel.
Good idea. Asante Samuel's had a good day. Oh, he goes for the knockout at the line of scrimmage. Nice changeup, but he never saw the football.
Garcon with only 2 catches, 15 yards. 23 seconds to go.
If you blitz, you got to tackle.
Going for a long one on Samuel and over the head of Garcon. Samuel, they challenged him again, but he's not budging.
No, really, again, it's all about knowing the defense. Asante Samuels, look, he's outside looking in, not going to bite. He knows there's somebody to the middle of the field to help him out, so there's no reason to overplay a move to the inside.
18 seconds and no timeouts. They probably need about 20, 25 yards to have any shot downwind.
And if you get tackled in bounds, it'll be tough unless it's way down the field to get in position.
They go down the middle, and that's Samuel with a second pick of the day, and that'll do it. He's going to run right out of bounds. He's going to stay in, just run out the clock. 2 picks on the game by Asante Samuel, and the Eagles are going to upend the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, the game had a lot of breaks in it today. Penalties. But still, very good game. 2 teams very competitive. Michael Vick.
He had to go back to the sidelines as Samuel reversed course.
Intercepting team, 15-yard penalty.
The fact that they win the game, he's back. Of course, that's exciting. But you know it means something to him to win the game against Peyton Manning.
Peyton had been picked only twice the entire season coming in. Samuel gets 2 today, showing why he's one of the best lockdown corners in football. One kneel down, and the Eagles and the Colts will both be 5-3. A 26-24 Philadelphia victory. Let's go to James Brown in New York.
All right, Jim, we're going to take